So we have been doing a workshop series that's going to be a total of 10 workshops. This is number 3. So the next section here is delegating housework, chores, and getting people to help you out. If you don't already have a chore system, then I would highly recommend that you print this worksheet out and start there. If you do have one, again, I said it's always valuable to revamp that, to review it. Now, we're going to go through several things here today, and I don't expect you to revamp all of them this week. That's not the point. The point is for you to pick 1 or 2 of them to work on this week. So this might be one of them. But basically, you just want to think about all the things you have to do. And I often start by just doing a brain dump. I'll just be like, what are all of the things I have to do? Everything that's running on my head. Mop the floor, sweep, feed the pig, because we have a pet pig, all the things. I write it all down on one piece of paper, and then I would take something like this and just simply, again, you don't have to do it all. You start with a little bit, but okay, which family member can feed the pig? And then I assign that to them. And then, of course, the next step is creating a way to systematize that. Now, if you want to really get into this in detail, of course, I have my family charts and systems course that will walk you through the whole thing. But the point is you can start simply by just picking a few of the things and assigning them to a person and then helping them create a system that works for them. So for my teenagers, it's easy because they just set a reminder or an alarm on their phone. So every morning, my 14-year-old has an alarm go off, and that reminds him to go feed the animals. And so he goes out and feeds all of our chickens and our geese and pigs. So that's the system. The system is I assigned it to him after I taught him how to do it. And now he has an alarm and it goes off every day, and I don't have to think about feeding the animals anymore. Now I do, occasionally go out there to make sure he's doing a good job. So I check up on him occasionally, but the system is in place where every day he just does that because he has an alarm, and his reward for doing it, besides he gets paid a little bit, is he gets to listen to his audiobook while he does it. So he's motivated to do it because of the system I have in place. I guarantee there are jobs you're doing that are simple enough for someone else to do. Even if you have to, and this is another little tip, break down the job into smaller jobs. So like cleaning the bathroom, if I tell my 11-year-old to go clean the bathroom, that's overwhelming. But if I tell her, go clean the sink, she's like, okay, I can do that. And then it's funny because my system for getting my kids to do chores is they get to listen to their audiobook while they do their chores. Otherwise, they don't get unlimited access to their audiobook. So as long as she wants to listen, I have her doing some chores. And so I'll tell her, go clean the bathroom sink. And then she'll come back to me later and she's done and she wants to listen to some more. And I'll be like, now go clean the toilet. And now go clean the shower. And so over the course of the day, she cleans the whole bathroom. But it felt less overwhelming than me saying, go clean the bathroom all in one chunk. She broke it up into smaller chunks, and that's manageable for her. So that's another way to think about it and systematize it by breaking up big jobs into smaller jobs. But here's what you have to think about it over time. And this is something that moms, they forget. If you pay the price earlier on and do more work, over time, that's the compounding. Because then by the time your kids become older kids and then teenagers and then young adults, that initial investment up front of extra time, that's when it really starts to pay off. Now, not that, there's still some payoff when they're younger, but it's not necessarily, the cost benefit doesn't seem as big. But over time, it becomes huge because they can do all the things because they've learned how. They've been taught how to do it. And so now they know how. Any one of my children at any time, well, not my 8-year-old and not my 11-year-old. Any one of my older children could easily clean the whole house if they had to. And so that's the idea, is that by the time they get older, they know how to do all the things. And so I'm not the one that has to do them all because they all know how. So for us, I think what's worked best is people pick the jobs they want, and that literally just becomes their job pretty much indefinitely. I mean, it will, and again, it will change depending on how the family dynamics change. But my son, who's 19 now, he started doing the family laundry when he was 12, and he did it until he moved out. Now he moved out, and now he moved back in. And now it's a weird situation because we live in a hotel. And so we have hotel staff that do our laundry right now. But he did the family laundry for 5 or 6 years. And that was his job. Right. And I think it actually works pretty well because it makes more sense too with how the world actually works. It became his job, his specialty. It just was the thing he did. I never had to remind him. If he saw laundry, he just did the laundry, right? So that's, I think, is a system that works well. And that works best by helping them notice what jobs they like to do.
Yeah,
Sometimes
rotate
my
up,
kids will be
absolutely.
like, I've been doing this job for 3 months, 6 months, and I really don't like it. I'll be like, okay, let's see how we can switch things up and find someone else to do this job, and you can do something else. Because my point is, I don't want it to feel like it's a giant chore. But this was a realization I had to go through when, as a young adult, a young mother, realizing I'm going to be washing dishes for the rest of my life. I decided that, wow, I need to find a way to embrace doing chores because it's a part of life. And one of the ways to do that is to focus on doing the ones you enjoy more and having someone else do the ones you don't like as much, because often that plays out too. Greg hates vacuuming, but I really like vacuuming. And so we switch off doing different things that we're better at doing and that we enjoy doing more. And some of the things that nobody likes doing, well, we'll hire someone to do that, right? So I feel like it works well because then they become good at that job and they want to keep doing it. And I don't have to remind them, nag them.